the right person for the role and is stepping out of that role, it could be seen as a failure, and you've got to deal with that failure. And so one of the most valuable things I think is and sorry, I know ego is an overused term, but to be able to park that slightly and really focus on what's best for the company and for the founders rather than for you as an individual. Um, and so in those three situations, the way I articulate it to people, others that I was talking to about it, if I thought for a moment that I could persuade that CEO not to leave and to make the issue go away, I'm crazy. Like this whole founder CEO has their whole identity and reputation wrapped up in founding this company. They've thought really hard about this decision, and no matter what I say, I'm not going to change their mind. So all I've got in this moment is the way I respond to it, and your reputation as a founder is created or lost in that moment. So I'm delighted to say in all three of those cases, they had my support, they had the support of my partners, and we handled the situation so we got the best from them going forward in the company, and also found the right person to step in, which in two of the cases was actually their co-founder. So those were examples where it played out pretty well.
One of the things I think that I quite like about what we try to do at the very least is recognizing that an awful lot of times the failure of investors to be there for their portfolio founders, etc., isn't so much just sort of bad intention or lack of willing. It's just lack of capacity to be able to actually do it. And so we try to, as much as possible, not house the responsibility in each individual investment partner, because that's where those letdowns happen. With all the good intention in the world, you say, yes, I'll absolutely be there to grab coffee with you and talk about this thing or sit in on that go to market strategy meeting, and then you just can't because you have so much to do. So we do our level best to try and make sure that everybody in the firm shares shares the relationship with each individual founder. So they have multiple pathways to reach out, so we can share the problem we're dealing with each other. So that if it's a hiring thing, I might be able to handle it, Jen might be able to sit down with them individually and share that time. And the other element of it is trying as best as possible to think like a startup, to think like our founders and think, how can we take some of this and make it scalable? How can we take some of this and make it less bespoke or individual, but like productize it so that the thing that you as a founder need, you can reach it, you can tap into even if everybody's busy. And so you feel consistently supported beyond just what one individual can do on any given Tuesday. And for us, that's been something that's been paying off and something that we want to keep sort of doubling down on. Because I think otherwise it's not scalable, and it's not possible when you make lots of promises and break lots of hearts. So.
Do you mind if I just add one thing to that? Because I think it's such a great point, and I think the number one thing that we share as a team is success and failure. And so we're in the business of taking risk, and I'm afraid at seed stage, we all know that we can't succeed without accepting failure. And so if we can get used to that as a team and share that burden, then I think it avoids the problem of individuals responding to their own fear in situations where they should be doing the right thing for a company.
Could I ask you that question and an example of a beneficial investor relationship?
Of course you can, and it was actually not dissimilar to Rory's example he gave at the beginning, which is if you manage to build a relationship of trust with the entrepreneur. There was one case, one of our portfolio companies, we've been an investor for about 8 years, very successful business, had raised lots of capital from us and from external investors, and the CEO came to talk to us and said actually for family reasons, personal reasons, motivation reasons, all kinds of reasons, actually wanted to leave the business and wanted to leave the business probably in 12 to 18 months' time, and did that very openly, even though his personal situation, had we chosen to, could have been affected by sharing that news with us. We could have changed the vesting on some of his options, it would have hurt him financially, but the fact he was able to have that conversation with us means that we were able to react in a way and work with the other investors and give him red carpet treatment on the way out, and also make sure the business didn't really miss a step in terms of its future growth. And that only comes from a relationship which is open, honest, straightforward, and that's the result of years and years of building that over time, where both sides feel able to speak their mind in a way that is really straightforward. And sometimes either the entrepreneur wants to hold back good news or wants to not tell you some of the stuff that they're really struggling with, or the investor wants to be a bit painful about things, and you need to try and remove that as much as possible, and that's what makes you proud when you get that bit right and they feel able to come to you.
So